I feel like I'm at a crossroads. I really don't know whether it is worth carrying on. When YouTube takes over your life and you're doing it with all the best intentions and you're not even keeping the money, AI is taking over the world and we are being slow walked into oblivion unless we take notice of it. Things are so convincing now. There's very little you can watch that you don't have to question. You know, girls, when we meet up for coffee, we just let off steam, don't we? It's our time to let off a bit of steam and gather sustenance from the people around us and listen to their opinions and what they would do. And that's what you do when you meet your girlfriends for coffee. And that's why it's so enjoyable. Hello everyone. It's another ironing day and I've got a couple of things to tell you about my week. You might be interested or you might not, but at least I am not AI. I am a real person, and that does make a difference. I've noticed, well, Valerie from Found in France texted me a message today because we're friends in real life, and she sent me a message and included a link to, oh, let me think, 60andMe's channel, Margaret, who was saying that her views are down. Now, let's put this into perspective. This lady has been on YouTube for 12 years. She has got over 250,000 subscribers. Now that is enormous. It's enormous. However, when she started 12 years ago, there was no AI. And I don't know about you, but every day, every single day, my feed is full of AI channels. And frankly, even for our community, the older members of society, the ladies, you know, it's all these senior channels that say what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing if you're over 60 and all the rest of it. Or what's going to befall you if you're over 60 if you don't do these things. Well, they are AI channels. They are AI voices. And you have voices that all sound the same. There is no difference between any of them. And they often put the wrong emphasis on the words in a sentence, which really irritates me. And they are taking over YouTube, and frankly, I am absolutely sick to death of it. You know, where are the real people? If that Margaret on 60andMe can be having problems and her income is down, I bet she's not earning £4.38 or something per week. But nevertheless, you know, it's her full-time income. And her channel is suffering. And it has to be said that I spend most of my week working out what I'm going to say on these videos. Yes, I know it doesn't really look like it because you might think I ramble. But I do put a lot of work into this rambling. And then I have to put a lot of work into thinking, well, shall I bother putting a video out? Yeah, I do. And then I think, oh, I've got so many people that actually value these videos, you know? And bless you. you do leave comments, but what Margaret is asking her 250,000 subscribers is to watch her videos. Not only to watch them, but also to comment and to press the notification bell. Apparently that's really important, but so is commenting, because it tells YouTube that people like your video. Now, I've got 5,000, which is a complete drop in the ocean. And I never thought that people with 250 odd thousand subscribers would have problems like that, but clearly they do. And she is asking for help because she has noticed a massive drop in her views. Now, I put a video out twice a week. Now, one of those is alive now, but before it was just a video. And the other one is, is an ironing video. And more often than not, I am lucky if they get 200 or 300 views out of 5,000. Now, I have to think that is because YouTube isn't putting them out. I could also think that, well, people just aren't interested. If I get, say, 50 views, then that means, or if I get 50 likes on a video, I am lucky. Some channels get a lot more. And I know that comparison is, it's just the worst thing, to compare yourself to others, but inevitably you do, because that is the only way you can judge how well you're doing. But, at a time when every day I'm thinking of giving it all up. Yeah, truly. You think, I was saying to Valerie via text this morning, there isn't a day goes by that I don't think what my life was like before I started this channel. How my days were my own, and how when I have enough energy I can get things done, not thinking, well, I must surely do a video, I must be researching, I must be doing this, I must be doing that, otherwise, that's an awful lot of pressure. I got it. That's enough of my rant. You're probably sick to death of me, all right. And you probably already clicked off, because most people click off my videos before 5 minutes, which is another indicator, isn't it? When you click off before 5 minutes, YouTube thinks nobody's interested, they don't push it out. Anyway, what she was saying was, this is Margaret, I digress obviously, I do tend to flit around in a conversation. What Margaret, 60 and me, was saying, that she was asking for help to get her channel back to a point at which she wouldn't have to charge for memberships. Now, I won't ever go down that road. She hasn't gone down that road, but I would rather give up YouTube rather than go down that route, because I like to think that everything I do is free to watch and enjoy or suffer from. But she's thinking about it. But what she is asking people is to press the notification button, to press the like button, to leave a comment, even if it's just hello, because that does matter, and to let the ads run, because that is the only way we earn money. Those of us that don't have memberships, those of us that don't do all the other things that might cost you money. So perhaps I should do a video like that. AI is taking over the world and we are being slow walked into oblivion unless we take notice of it. Things are so convincing now. There's very little you can watch that you don't have to question. It does make me wonder whether, unless we start taking care of those people that are actually human, we are just going to be overrun by these generic AI channels that regurgitate something from ChatGPT or some other AI content. And we'll all be lost then, won't we? There'll be no nuance in any channel. There'll be just channels with an AI voice and various bits of B-roll images which are also AI. And then you won't be able to hear about somebody's day, somebody's actual opinion. It'll be this homogeneous gloop we're being spoon-fed every day. Just makes me mad, really. And because it's AI, it won't need editing. It's a really lazy way to make content. And it makes you think, well, what is the point? What is the point if you are making content and going through all the angst that it gives you? And it does, I know this sounds like a whingy video, but you know, girls, when we meet up for coffee, we just let off steam, don't we? It's our time to let off a bit of steam and gather sustenance from the people around us and listen to their opinions and what they would do. And that's what you do when you meet your girlfriends for coffee. And that's why it's so enjoyable. Have you been watching Tracy lately? Life in the Wild West. Her daughter Abby got engaged the other day, and then Abby rang her mum and said, "Mum, why don't you come up for a few days? I've got a few days off work." She'll be back now, of course. But anyway, she's carried on with her walking, and that's great because that's helping her. I think it helps with your feelings and stresses and anxiety walking. Now, if I could go walking again, that would be lovely. I would love to do that. I could regularly walk 10 or 12 miles a day. I don't know how many kilometres that is, but you know, 10 or 12 miles a day. Longer if I got lost, and believe me, I have no sense of direction and I can't follow. If my phone says go north, I think, well, where is it? Where's north? And it's no good my darling boy saying, well, you look at the sun and you do this and you do that. You know, you might as well be speaking Dutch. I can't understand it. But when I used to go walking, I used to like walking around the streets around here because it is a very nice area. And in places like Virginia Water, there are some gigantic houses, you know. And when I walk past these houses, I think, I wonder if there's only 2 people living in that house or if it's filled with people. And I wonder if they're all happy. And I used to go around doing that In the days when people had neck curtains, I'd always look at those. But these days people don't have neck curtains. But I do think, I wonder if you've got a happy life. I wonder what a day in your life is like. So I would like to go back to that. But, you know, I've got this problem with my Achilles tendons. And the other day I bought this machine, and I will show you a little demonstration of it in a second, because I did film it. And it is only for massaging your Achilles tendons. And by doing that, apparently, the massaging of those Achilles tendons causes blood to go to the Achilles tendons and aid recovery. So I'm doing that 2 or 3 times a day in the hope that it helps. I said to Katie, I never imagined I would be the sort of old lady who would get all these health issues, because I've always been super duper fit. I've never, apart from when I was on prednisolone, when I went up to 12.5 stones, and all of that was fluid. When I was on that, I was 12.5 stones, but as soon as I came off it, all the water went and I was back to my normal weight. So I've never been a person that's been, you know, had a problem with my weight. But when I got older, I started having problems with high blood pressure, so I'm on 2 types of medication for that. I also got the restless leg syndrome. Then the doctor put me on statins, and shortly afterwards I got the Achilles tendinopathy, and I've had it ever since. Not knowing that statins can cause your Achilles tendons to rupture and to give you a problem with them. Now, had I have known that, I've never taken the blinking things, because it's been the bane of my life ever since. So, I'm sorry this video has been a bit of a rant. I feel like I'm at a crossroads. I really don't know whether it is worth carrying on. When YouTube takes over your life and you're doing it with all the best intentions, and you're not even keeping the money, you're donating it to your grandchildren's education, when you spend that much time and that much effort on a channel to get so few views and earn so little money, you wonder whether it is actually worth it. Because without a shadow of a doubt, it does affect your mental health at times. And I do wonder. So, if you've stayed this long, if you could share a video, if you could click the notification button, so that YouTube will actually send you my videos. If you could comment, even if it's just a heart or an emoji, to say you've been here. And if you've got to the end, just tell me. Believe me, I'm not earning very much. Last week was £4, I think it was £4.74 or 38, I can't remember, one of those two. The month previously I didn't earn enough for YouTube to send the money out. It was below the minimum. And when you're doing that, you do wonder whether it is actually all worth it. Whether it is all worth it. In the meantime, today I culled loads and loads of AI content from my feed and just clicked on the 3 buttons saying I'm not interested, do not recommend this channel. That's what I did. And I am choosing to find joyous content to watch because there is way too much life sucks, this is miserable, you can't do this, you will be ostracized, all that sort of stuff in this day and age when life is full of turmoil. Do you really want that coming in at your breakfast table on your computer every morning? Honestly, what happened to the happy email? Something to start your day off and think, oh, life is good. As I say, the more you look for a red car, the more you'll see it. And if that's what you're being fobbed off with constantly, AI rubbish and misery, then that's what you're going to see, and that will affect your mental health. So I am choosing happiness. And if that means I have to come off YouTube altogether and wake up and smell the coffee, then that's what I'm going to do. And no, I didn't even have a coffee this time. Honestly, what am I like? Anyway, lots of love. Bye-bye.